As Florida airports gear up for the holiday travel season, they're seeing a troubling trend: more people bringing guns to the airport.
I-Team investigator Adam Walser looks at the numbers and uncovers why a few well-known travelers were caught with guns.
These are just some of the hundreds of guns discovered by TSA agents at security checkpoints inside Florida airports. Many were loaded, potential threats to passengers and flight crews.
We actually had one day this week when we had 4 firearms at the checkpoints.
Kurt Skinner oversees TSA operations for the Tampa Bay region.
The incidence of firearms at the checkpoint is about 100% more than it was last year.
So far this year, TSA officers have discovered 360 firearms at Florida airports, including 57 guns at Tampa International, 9 at Clearwater St. Pete, 65 guns at Orlando International, 62 at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood Airport, 43 at Miami International, and 30 at Jacksonville International Airport. More guns were discovered at each of those airports in the first 10 months of this low passenger volume, pandemic-ridden year than in all of 2015.
We're trying to figure out what is it that is causing passengers to more often come to the airport with their weapon.
It's not clear what's causing the trend, but TSA officials say most passengers in Tampa caught with guns tell them it was an accident. Congressman Ross Spano posted on Facebook that he was stopped at a checkpoint at Tampa International Airport in late September after a handgun was discovered in his carry-on bag. In his post, he said he had received death threats in recent years and started carrying a firearm. After TSA verified he had a concealed carry permit, he was allowed to store his gun and board a later flight. The TSA says anyone caught with a gun faces a possible fine.
Whether you have that permit or not, there will be a civil action investigation, and it could result in a fine of up to $13,669.
Passengers without concealed carry permits can also face felony criminal charges. But whether passengers are arrested is at the discretion of the airport police. Jacksonville hasn't arrested anyone in 2 years, but Tampa Airport Police have arrested 25 people.
Once you're in the business, it gets in your blood.
Including wrestling superstar Terry Runnels, who was caught with a loaded Glock 26 inside a black sock in her carry-on bag. She was charged with carrying a concealed weapon without a permit, but the charge was later dropped. And Algernon Lanier Washington, better known as the rapper Plies, whose gun was not loaded. He was arrested on the same charge. A police report says he bought a gun from a pawn shop, put it in his backpack, and carried it to the security checkpoint. Plies, whose charge was later dropped after he received a concealed carry permit, apologized to the TSA on social media.
You find out, how quickly the government can take your liberty interest really quick, just based on an accident.
Criminal defense attorney Ben Steck-Schulte recently defended 2 clients arrested for guns at the airport. He says most cases don't result in convictions, but defendants still have to pay thousands of dollars in fines and legal costs.
They're not intending to possess these firearms without a permit. They didn't even realize they possessed it most of the time.
But TSA Director Skinner says his officers can't take any chances and are heading into the holidays preparing for the worst.
Given what's happened already this year, we're going to see more weapons.
He says if you have to travel with a gun, you need to make preparations with your airline ahead of time to check it with your luggage. Otherwise, you could find yourself facing a big fine or even jail time. To see those statistics involving guns brought to Florida's major airports in recent months and to read TSA's rules when it comes to guns and flying, go to abcactionnews.com. I'm I-Team investigator Adam Walser, taking action for you.